Hello and welcome. In this session, we will learn the last tool in repetition structure. So the last tool or the last repetition structure will be the fourth for loop. Now, what's unique about the for loop, as I mentioned to you that there are four elements in a repetition structure. In for loop, you can write everything in the write the four elements in just one string or just one statement. No? So in for loop, basically you are going to start with the for command followed by a curly brace. So what's inside here is separated into three sections. No? And this section is separated by a semicolon. So this section, the first section, as I mentioned to you, uh, in the previous session that you are going to require an initial value, the condition, and of course the statement that will make the initial or the condition false. No? So again, by the way, this is where you are going to write your statement. So let's say, see out, I want to repeat this. So this is hello. Okay. So I want to repeat that, but let's have slash n. Let's do something new. So, okay. So again, what's unique about for loop is that everything that I've mentioned, the four elements, can be placed in uh, one line. So in here, you have to have the initial value. So usually the initial value, just like last time, which I use a, is greater than or is equal to, let's say, 0. Then in the middle, which is separated by a semicolon, in the middle, what you're going to write is the condition. So in this case, the condition will be a is greater than 10. Now I will just make some spaces. Then, of course, the last one is the statement that will make this condition false. So in this case, we can use there a plus plus. No? So you can see here in just one line, this is what makes for loop beautiful, is that in just one line, I have made a looping statement that has the four elements. The repetition statement, the initial value, the condition, and the statement that will make the condition false. So let's try to run this program. So, oops, there's something wrong. Uh, 0, we can say this one like that. So because we need to make the statement true so that it will run this program. So if we run this one, so we can see there that that uh, it's repeating 10 times. Now, usually, based on my experience, I will always use for loop when I am using some sort of fixed count loop. No? Yeah, if I'm using a fixed count loop, then for me, I will use a for loop. No? But if I'm using, let's say, for example, a variable that will stop based on, let's say, for example, a running total, then uh, I will usually use the while looping statement. No? But in terms of fixed loops, I usually use the for loop. No? So let's have this one. So hello, this is the first, this is the, so I can have that like this. I will display the value A, then I will say line at the end. Okay, then I will have there slash n so that you will see the the line by line of what's the value of a. So if we run this one, oops, something wrong. By the way, the curly brace is removed, so we need to add that one. So if we run this one, so we can see here we start with 0, This is the zero line because we initiate the value as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until the 9. No? So once it is reach 9, again, a for loop is like a post-test, a pre-test similar to while loop. So it tests the condition first before it will execute this line. So in this case, 9 is greater than 10, then it will execute that value, which is the value of 9. But by the time it will increment it by 1, it's become 10. Then once it checks the condition, it will no longer go into this line. So if we have there 1, so we make sure you have to make this one equal to, so that if we run this code, we can see that this is the line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, and 6, and 7. Okay. Now, we will learn in this session, we will also learn a looping statement within a looping statement. So what does it mean, a looping statement within a looping statement? So a looping statement within a looping statement is just basically there is a loop inside a loop. So usually you can use this one for different types of mathematical sequences, like finding the factors, and so on. So usually we do like that. So again, so I have here another loop. Uh, so let's say, for example, int, instead of b, I will use b. I will demonstrate first and I will discuss later how a loop within the loop works. So let's say 5, uh, let's say b plus plus. Then in this case, this is the a valued line. And in this case, uh, we have here curly brace for that for loop. Okay, so this is the b and the value of the b. No? So if we run this one, we can see a pattern. So we can see here, I will just make this, I will indent this one so that you can see it very clearly. Okay, so we can see it here. Let's go to the beginning. Let's just make this one smaller value. Let's say 3. So if we run this one, so we can see here is this is the line A1 line. So it means that it's running this. Then uh, once it once this one is run because of this, then it goes into the B loop. So it will loop this 5 times before it will exit to the bigger loop. Okay, so you can see here that it will run this one, then it goes to the a bigger loop, then goes back to the B line, which is this one, and then the third line, and then it will repeat the same thing. Okay, so this basically is a loop within a loop statement. Now, it may be confusing at first, but again, you can still do it. If you have a proper algorithm, then it's much easier to spot your looping statements. Okay, so again, so in this case, this will loop 3 times, the bigger loop inside a smaller loop. So if you want to calculate the number of loops, that's just 5 loops times 3 loops. So that's equal to 15 number of loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, which is this one is included as part of that looping statement at the initial value. Okay, so this is a loop within a loop set of instructions. Now in the manual, there are some examples of you can try and you can execute. You can tinker with, do the simple experiments for the looping statements. So if there are questions about the pre-recording session, you can just place it in the forum. Uh, if and I will try to answer the questions there if you have concerns. Okay. So thank you.